Well, hello, and welcome to Pirate Adventures. Where we last left off, our dear adventurers had just defeated and slain a nightmare. Slayer, their newfound friend, had snuck off from the party, and Tim was getting peer pressured into stealing Gruzeel's gold while he was drunk and out. I figure we should start there.
Okay.
Please proceed.
We jumping right
on your
with the peer
drunken
pressure.
position.
Zoro's got like his arms slung round like sort of Tim, and he's like, "Look, if you want to be one of the boys, all right, you got to do this."
Boys.
One of the crew.
Is
My
this what
apologies,
they call
Kethra.
hazing?
Yes, it's an important rite of passage.
I mean, I don't think he would even assume that you were lying. Like, this is all new to him. So,
Tim,
yes.
if you really don't want to, it's okay. But,
He wants to.
But-
he
but-
wants to do it.
but Zoro, Tim, it'd be really awesome if you did.
Oh my god, man.
You don't have to. It's fair. It's fine. Fair enough. We respect your boundaries, but it will be incredible, and we'll slip you an extra. Zoro will slip you an extra food ration or two.
Oh, Zoro, you are so kind.
Well, I mean, are you gonna go through with it?
I've never broken maritime law before, so what better place to start?
Trust me,
He's
when
gonna
you
try.
you feel that rush for the first time, Tim, you're not gonna want to stop.
So, I mean, he'd one.
I hope he
he'd one
steals
tank-
from you as well at some point.
That's against the rules.
He's just going to become a proper kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
He's going to attempt it. He's had one tankard of ale, so maybe smash another beforehand for the confidence, if that imposes any disadvantage or anything.
I'd say make a Constitution saving throw first.
Absolutely. That's an 8.
Yeah, you've got disadvantage on your sleight of hand
Cool.
check.
So is it sleight of hand, or I suppose it's loud enough to not need stealth, right?
Yeah, it's sleight of hand. Trust me, it's sleight of hand.
Okay.
He's drunk and basically out. It's sleight of hand.
With the disadvantage, that is a natural 1.
Wow.
Oh no!
So essentially, Gruzeel, a sudden jolt bursts you from your drunkenness into a sudden sobriety, and you find that Tortle Tim's hand is directly in your pouch.
It hardly even fits. It's like two fingers like stretching it.
Two are like stuck in there, and it's almost like he's caught on the little string that's around to tie it back up, and he can't quite get himself off it.
Friend, this is not what it looks like.
How you doing, Tim?
Hey,
What you after?
He looks around to see if Zoro and Kethra are still there.
Zoro's like facing the other way, drinking.
Kethra is kind of like looking at Zoro's hair, just trying to determine if it's like real or not. Still in disbelief.
Tim looks back at Gruzeel, and within a very short amount of time starts like blubbering.
Oh,
Aw.
Gruzeel will give him a hug. Oh, there, Tim. There. Do you miss your island? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh, don't
Do I
worry.
even need to roll reception for that?
No,
Deception for that.
Gruzeel will be like,
He's not contesting it.
yeah, Gruzeel will believe it. He's like, it's okay. I'm not from around here either.
It's easy to feel out of place. I see.
Tell me about it. This is a whole new world for me.
Perhaps we should keep each other's backs from now on.
I agree.
They might look at us like freaks.
Let them. It's fine.
Beautiful.
They're just jealous of your shell and your sick abs.
What defining features does Gruzeel have? Have interest.
Defining features, not much. I mean, he's a green Dragonborn, with sort of weird tendril things coming out of his back as sort of like hair. Generally, he's just a very average dude. Like, he's not He's not that well built. If he wasn't kind of with you guys, you wouldn't really look at him twice. He's kind of a very background kind of guy.
I don't think Tim will have seen a Dragonborn before, but obviously both reptile bros.
Yeah.
What are the tendrils?
I think that just from the image, they seem to be like weird,
like dreadlock kind of
like
things
dreadlocks things
Oh,
coming out of
okay.
the back of his head. I'm guessing it's just a Dragonborn thing.
Yeah.
No, they're not like octopus tentacles
No.
or anything.
Yeah, no,
it's
I was
nothing like
normal-
that.
That's
normal
sick.
like no.
Yeah.
I imagine no. But yeah.
I think Tim.
But
will
he's
offer
green
you-
as well
offer
because
you a
you're green.
hand.
You're green as well, aren't you?
We're both green.
Okay, nice.
Both green.
Yeah.
I will colour in the token at some point.
Okay.
Yeah, Tim will offer Gruzeel a hand and try to pull him up and get him back into the festivities.
Oh, thank you, Tim. I don't know what happened to me there. I remember Zoro, and then it was you.
Yes, he seems to be quite a troublemaker.
Oh, wow.
Yes. He gives us green folk a bad name. But I'm sure he means well.
He means well. We'll have to keep an eye on him.
Zoro would definitely not appreciate being grouped in the green.
I mean, I don't imagine they're being quiet about this. They're probably saying this in most of the day.
I'm imagining like in parallel I'd be talking to Kethra, but I'll do it when this is over, so he wouldn't be paying attention.
Okay, cool.
I think that's about it. I'd
Yeah.
like to interrogate Gruzeel about being a Dragonborn and stuff, but that can wait.
It's cool. Okay, yeah. Zoro, if you're going to try to chat with Kethra.
Yeah, so I was just gonna say, Kethra, you've taken an unusual interest in me tonight. What has anything sparked this, or?
Well, let's take it from the top, shall we? You don't remember anything, any of your failures in combat. That's special. You don't seem to recall why you are already here, and you have no particular care for other people around you. I mean, you don't even recognise that you went through a butthole tonight, of all things.
You know
It's
what?
just
I'm always looking forward to that day when I'm going to be the best swordsman in the world.
see that's where
Anything
Well-
that happens in the past is irrelevant to me.
that's where you're wrong. As a fighter, personally, I find that my greatest failures are my greatest areas of growth, where I can learn and we can learn from my strives. I can remember times where Saris would beat me heavily for biting on one of his feints, and I didn't bite on his feints from then on, and I learned and I grew, and I'm the better fighter than you today. I mean, it's clear. You do.
He's going to
Slip that in.
His drink at this point. He's like shake his head around, like, bang his ear and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I must have got some water in my ear." But it's fine.
I mean, still to this day, you're still ignorant to the world around you. I mean, I just blatantly told you that I was the better fighter than you, and you still aren't cognizant of that very thing. I mean, how can I trust you in battle when you are? How can I trust you in battle though when you are so oblivious to the world around you? I'm so oblivious that you should be kicked off the crew for being such blatant liability to us all around us. I mean, how could we ever trust you?
I rank on you, but as the only person here with a respectable bounty, I've got to say that I'm the better swordsman.
Respectable bounty. I mean, you're disrespecting the captain now as well.
It's a special.
Well, tell him that. So shall we go to tell him that you feel
There
that
is
his
only one
bounty
way
is-
to settle this.
Tim, where did you come from?
Oh, we were
Just press
we
him
were
in the
we were,
background.
we were over there.
Yes, great.
We're
Stick with that.
We're having a heart to heart. You see.
I see you got good for you as well. Gonna kind of like look meaningful at Tim.
Tim, do you not agree?
Issues.
Tim, my lad, come here. Kethra is to think that she's a better. What's the word we use? Kind of like choke on it a little bit. Kethra thinks. What do you think, Tim?
You haven't asked me a question.
It's a simple question. Or Kethra?
I perhaps some sort of friendly wager is required.
Ah, a wager, you say?
Why don't you two have like an arm wrestle? That's what we used to do.
Yes.
Perhaps something more dexterous would be in order.
He's backing away from a challenge already. How can he be that good?
Zoro never backs down from a challenge. Alright.
You just did. Just right there.
Arm wrestle, let's go.
You may use my back. Lays flat. It's like a massive, cracked, rocky shell.
On the shell.
Yeah,
Oh
on the
my
shell.
god.
Tim, I need you to tense and stay very still.
I'll bend down to Tim. Oh, are you okay? You okay down there? Oh.
He slides his limbs into the shell.
Oh, where do they go? Tim! Tim! Has anyone seen Tim?
Gruzeel, not now. Not now. Can I use athletics for this?
Well, you're gonna, yeah, I would imagine.
Or
So.
acrobatics? I'll use acrobatics.
Well, it's-
Acrobatic gonna
Constant
backflip over the
strength,
thing.
man.
Yeah, this will be a contest of strength. So
My strength isn't bad, but my dex is far better.
I'm the same. So
Okay.
are you?
I mean, my dex is better than my strength.
Yeah.
That's about that. You're
Okay.
actually the same. So
What's your strength at? Like, modifier?
Plus 3.
Oh, okay, fine.
I'm pretty sure we're the same.
yeah,
Um,
3
I'm-
plus 4.
Oh, I do remember us talking about this.
Pretty
yes,
sure you
yes.
two are fairly similar.
Yeah, with the same modifiers, I think. Okay. Alright, straight strength roll. So, I assume Kethra takes cast his hand, and
Wait, well, what's on the table?
Zoro had just, like, put his arm as for, like, an arm wrestle kind of thing.
No, as in the wager.
bragging rights.
So there's no gold on this.
Wow.
How much gold have I got? Hang on.
We just got paid.
Sorry, I was grabbing a drink.
Alright, Zoro's gonna slap down 10 gold.
Where's my current?
Is this on Tim's back?
Does Tim remain still? So the
Oh
gold
yeah, 100%. He's got a job and he's gonna do it. His shell's like super rocky and craggy though. It's hard to find like a properly flat surface.
Just rolls off.
I'll try and place it in like a place it's not going to slip off.
I can hold it for you.
Okay, alright. Gruzeel, you are the referee.
Okie dokie.
Gonna slap 10 gold in Gruzeel's hand. And
As you guys begin to set this up, you find that a lot of the
he
deck
holds it-
hands
he holds
are
it like
beginning
this.
to crowd.
Okay.
He holds it close. Make sure nobody gets it.
I'll also hand over 10
Okay.
gold.
He'll put it in his own hand and just like hold them like this. I have them safe.
Zoro's gonna kind of grin at Kethra and say, if you just want to give me the 10 gold straight, that's fine as well.
I'm sorry, you've lost every single. You would be knocked unconscious, sucked in a hole. Your luck's not with you at all.
I'm gonna show you now that your memory is faulty. Mine is correct.
So the winner of this is declared the best swordsman out of the two of us,
Whoa.
and wins the gold.
That's too much. Wins the gold and is... Wins the gold, let's see.
There's a little, very young cabin boy that just comes up and is just like, wouldn't it be fair to say that the winner's the strongest?
Yes, definitely, young sir. I would agree there. The strongest fighter out of the two of us.
Trying to think of like a way out of this. You kind of see like a bead of sweat like go down his forehead.
The anime sweat bead.
Zoro, the deck hand that you got to get your drink earlier sort of comes behind you and says, well, you're not afraid, are you, Mr. Zoro?
Of course I'm not afraid. Of course not. Alright, you step aside now. Okay, I'll take this up. The strongest, the person who wins is the strongest.
I mean, should we not do like 2
Strongest
out of 3 or
fighter.
something? You know?
No, that's ridiculous.
Oh.
I don't agree.
So 10 gold. So she puts out her hand 10 gold, and the strongest fighter between the two of us to agree on the deal. She stains her hand.
Do we get like a badge?
Takes the hand for tonight. The strongest.
Whoa, no, not tonight.
Alright, the strongest.
There we go. Okay, I'm ready if you are.
Okay. I'm always ready.
Okay, well, contested strength rolls, please.
Just raw strength.
Raw strength.
I'm going to sacrifice all my luck in this moment to get that 20.
Oh my god.
Oh shit.
You don't have the lucky feat.
No, he doesn't.
Oh, if I had lucky, I would have had this in the bag. Ah! It's okay.
Right.
17.
17. What'd you get, Haiss?
Unlucky 13.
Unlucky 13.
Oh, no.
So as you begin to contest, it starts fairly even, and for a surprising little while, it's fairly even, and then suddenly you see Kethra smirk, and she slams down your hand into the shell, and it kind of aches a bit.
Tim, are you okay?
Ouch.
Sorry, Tim, but it needed such a display.
You can see that like the deckhands around you have just gone ah, like a few of them ah, and a few of them yes, give me my money, or like betting around you.
So we'll kind of like, no, go on.
She goes to Gruzeel and says, "I'll take my winnings, please."
Here you go. Gives you the gold.
Thank you. She'll happily take that. And
So we'll kind of roll his shoulder a little bit and be like, well,
no excuses now.
did agree to it. I'm impressed, Kethra. Well done, well done.
You know what? I'm a little bit disappointed.
Wow.
Oh well.
I'm gonna whisper to Tim. Just didn't feel right being a woman, Thought I'd.
Oh, wow.
You're lucky. You only said that to Tim.
You're lucky only Tim heard.
Yeah.
You're very lucky. Not gonna lie, that would have been a slight slap, but alright.
Is there anything anybody else wants to do? Any more RP for the night, or just drinking and merriment until the morning?
Copious amounts of alcohol until he passes out. Yeah.
You will get absolutely smashed.
Cool.
Everybody else?
I mean, Gruzeel will try to avoid alcohol as much as possible.
Oh no, you're not getting away. I'm gonna make sure Tim and Gruzeel are drinking.
To
with
be
me.
fair,
Yeah,
I will
Tim doesn't
make
wanna
this a
push it.
contested persuasion check, or pass if you're using intimidation, use intimidation. But as he's getting absolutely slizzardly drunk, Gruzeel, you will have advantage.
So what am I rolling?
You can either roll wisdom to try, like, if he's using charisma as an intimidation, or either charisma. Just roll a wisdom to be able to ignore it.
I mean, both my modifiers are the same, but I think RP wise we'll go more of intimidation because if Gruzeel's resisting, Zoro's definitely like drink.
You were intimidating us last session for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. Fine, it'll be in that same vein. So yeah, intimidation then.
Got my roll.
Tim, you might want to roll as well, unless you're going to go along with it.
I think Tim would go along with it.
Okay, cool.
I'll need a
Oh
constitution.
my god, you're not beating this. Oh, this is what I needed before. 24.
Oh, fucking hell. I got 19. I thought I was feeling really good about myself.
I also
Oh,
I,
no, it takes a while, Gruzeel, but then you just can't resist him.
Oh.
That's a 15 on Constitution, Arthur.
Okay, actually, over the night you fare quite well, Tim. You start to think, this stuff isn't.
I
This
can get
isn't
into
that
this.
bad. I could get into this. It's not. I don't feel completely over the place. And Gruzeel, do you want to also fail your?
I'm gonna have
roll?
to. I'm gonna have to. But
Okay.
So Gruzeel will end up just being like, "Oh, Zoro, look, it's okay. Like, I know she's stronger than you, but look, at least she's just shooting people. If she was like, I don't know, hitting them with their gun or something, then maybe she'd be doing better than you. But, all she's going to be doing is pulling the trigger really hard. So, maybe you might be alright just being the weaker one of the two."
I'm like pull Gruzeel in close and like drunkenly lean and be like, Gruzeel. There is more tough fighter than brute strength. Okay.
No.
Be there as well, too.
The person who taught me would beg to differ.
What did your teacher tell you?
Aggression rules over everything. The vengeance fuels. That was a man fueled by vengeance, and he used it in his attacks.
I see. Well, vengeance is a bitter draught, my friend. You should.
Nice.
Oh god. I mean, I couldn't be as good as that guy anyway. So, I try where I can.
You can get anything you put your mind to. Okay.
Oh,
Just stick with me, and you'll be fine.
thank you, thank you, Zoro. And he'll tap you probably a lot harder than he probably should have done. But he taps you pretty hard.
So I'll just kind of roll with it. I guess.
Yeah, it's only on +1 to strength, so you'll most likely shrug it off anyway.
I've got +3.
Yeah,
so
yeah. So yeah.
Okay, and Kethra, what are you doing for the night?
Just enjoy. Well, we're overseeing the merriment, just being very smug over her win over Zoro, and can't wait to lay into it more as we go along.
Okay.
2-6.
So night, Alarias. Is there anything you want to do?
Oh, he would have been talking to the captain all this time.
You want to RP that?
He would have been asking about what he was asking the Slayer, and finding out why he had a worried look on himself.
Well, he was telling me a few things that I'm not sure quite sit right with me. We best keep an eye on that Zoro bloke, alright? I won't tell you for why, because I know what you get like. Just keep an eye on him, alright? Whenever you're having some kind of mission or quest with him, let me know if anything strange happens, alright?
Something strange did happen on our last quest, you could say.
Aye?
Yeah, he had this seeping look on his face, like something within him was hurt by what the Slayer was doing.
Right, that makes sense with what Slayer was saying. Nice to have a second account. And he clasps you on the back, probably quite a bit of a jolt. And he goes, "Thank you, Alarias. Can always count on you."
Yep, I'm always here for you, Captain. And don't worry, ever since Zoro joined the crew, I kept an eye on him.
What? Okay, I'll remember this.
Good lad, I suppose, good lad. I have to say, I hope you're feeling a little bit better, because, well, keeping track of all these stocks and everything has become a little bit difficult for me and Crunley to manage, and, well, we could use you back doing what you do best.
Yeah, I'd be happy to go back to what I was doing.
Aye.
I'll keep stock of everything. Don't you worry, it's in safe hands with me.
Oh, that'll be great. Well, for now it's merriment, and I know that Crunley's running low on rum, so we'll have to restock. Probably take us all to the Dreamboat up north, and we'll get some more rum from there. But I suggest that maybe you take over the stock holdings from then on.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Aye. Now, have a good time. Loosen that tunic.
I will.
Asking you to strip, man.
Yeah.
And you see him go off, and he goes over to Crunley, who's coming out with a barrel, and he's like looking at him, and you can basically get the gist of what they're saying. Is that last one? And he's like, yeah, that's the last one.
Shit. Bloody Zoro, man, he's running us dry.
And they put the barrel on, and then they start sort of bickering as they go downstairs. Bloodbeard goes into his quarters. Crunley goes down back towards the kitchen. And if nobody wants to do anything else,
I'm alright.
I'm happy.
Out
Cool.
of curiosity,
yep.
who would I go to for replenishing ammunition on the boat?
Well, that there would be the Master Gunner, Mellerin. She's currently up in the crow's nest. That's where she likes to be.
I shouldn't do that now, but just for future knowledge.
The Master Gunner will know where the stocks are, and then if not them, you'll go to the boatswain to find out how much ammunition and stock is left, and whether you're able to take your fair share or not, or what's available for you to take. And you can, those are kind of the main two, because the Master's going to know if they have enough bullets left to share with you.
Would there be like an armory on the ship, like guns and such up for grabs?
Yeah, so there is a
Quartermaster.
quartermaster. He's more in charge of like communication between deck and crew and captain. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And like the boatswain is the main sort of keeper of numbers. These are all the items we have on the ship. These are all the items we have used. Blah blah blah.
Uh-huh.
Stocks and stuff. In the lower decks, you're currently on a brig, so you've got a lower deck and then a store below that.
Uh-huh.
In the deck below, there is a small armory, not too many firearms in there. The main benefit of the cutlass, as you've got on it, you've noticed, is a large amount of cannons for such a small brig.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's an armory there, and then there's stock probably below that, and that's generally how it'd be. And there's different rooms, and where the quarters will be nearer the back end of the ship, and near the front end you'll have different types of stock, whether it's food for the kitchen or armory stuff. And then there's also treasure.
Do we have maps for the other floors? Just out of curiosity.
We do not on this map. I have another map.
Okay.
For
all right.
such
Yeah.
things. But if you guys want to go below decks, I can explain.
I was just wondering.
Yeah, it's cool. I do have a layout somewhere. I
You're
can.
prepared.
I have one prepared. I can
Cool,
swiftly explain to you. Yeah, is there anything else anybody wants to do?
I'm good.
Cool. So the night carries out in merriment and drinking and fun, and it's slow. Sort of fizzles down quite suddenly to a stop as everybody seems to hit their peak at a very particular time. Everybody is now, a lot of people who haven't quite made it to below decks in the quarters is kind of just laying on the top, on the main deck or on the quarter deck, kind of just like nodding off and falling asleep and laying out sprawled. I'm going to say that with your constitution checks, Tim, you find a hammock in the lower deck to comfortably situate yourself in. Gruzeel, you are asleep on the main deck.
Fair.
Can I get a constitution saving throw from Zoro with disadvantage, as you said you wanted to go super hard on it. And Kethra, it didn't sound to me like you were overdoing it either. So you'd probably get to your hammock. Alarias,
He wouldn't be drinking too much. Go back to his bedroom.
I didn't think it would either. So you'll find your officer room
Yeah.
in the lower deck. What'd you get, Zoro?
17.
17. Okay, so you handle it fairly well. You manage to scramble yourself towards a hammock on the lower deck and rest yourself in it. And you're kind of half in, half out, one leg dropped and the arm over the side. You're not really sleeping in a hammock properly, but it's close enough. You all begin to flutter your eyelids awake to a dawning sun, or the dawning suns, I should say. The two suns are rising to give you a lovely orange horizon that fades out into a blue sky. As you wake up... Pardon?
Do the suns have names?
Yes, they do. So, one...
Sorry, I didn't mean to break your flow.
No, it's cool. I just need to find my notes on this. Oh, where are they?
You can look it up later if you want.
Yes, it's like it's Solrin and Solness or something along those lines. Cool. We'll find that at some point. I'll lay it back to you. But essentially, the darker red one, I believe, is Solrin, and the other one is Solness, or something along those lines. As the suns raise in the sky and you begin to get on with your duties, Gruzeel, you feel very groggy, definitely have a hangover. You are getting on with some deckhand duties with as much effort as possible. Tim, in the morning you're not really sure what to do, and you find that Budbeard just kind of points you to the floor with the other scrubber and is like, basically start there.
It would be my honor.
Aye, it will. Kethra, Budbeard actually points you to the crow's nest to ask you to take lookout with Melarin. And
Shall oblige.
Zoro, he's going to ask you to be a rigger. You're also a bit groggy this morning, but you're kind of fine. You're coping with it.
Okay.
And Alarias, he leaves you well alone and you can sleep in.
Sweet. Perfect. I was gonna say I'll probably go
nice.
to stock. Probably go to the stock room and take count.
Okay. So are you looking for any particular count, or are you just taking a look?
I don't know. First thing on the agenda is gold. Normally with him. So.
Okay. So on your count, you'll be fine to do this in the morning because you're not reaching where you want to go until the afternoon. So in the morning, you find that you were able to count. There is one storage box of gold, and you notice that a few of the barrels are lower level. Without counting it specifically, on estimate, you can say there's probably about 8,000 gold in there. There's about 9 barrels of rations held in 3 storage boxes.
Nice. How big is the crew?
Well, since you got hit, the crew's gone down to about, I think, how many is in the crew? About 14. It's about half the size the crew should be.
14. Wow. That's including us, or is that not including us?
That's not including you guys, but that's including like Bloodbeard and the officers and that kind of thing. And where were we? And you can also see that the storage boxes for the rum are bone dry.
Literally nothing. Okay.
And you also know that there's 9 storage boxes with cannonballs, and there's about 100 in there.
In each one?
No, there's 100 in total.
Total, okay.
Budbeard likes to keep a lot of ammunition.
Oh,
Yeah.
With
Well,
that
we have a lot of
many
cannons.
cannons. I mean, is that? How many is that?
Yeah, actually, what is the
Cannons.
count of the cannons?
18, 20 cannons.
On the cannons, yeah, there's about 20 cannons, 10 either side.
Oh, there's 2 at the back as well.
Oh,
22.
sorry. 8 either side. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I
Nine.
actually have these stats. Why am I doing this?
Looking at the picture,
very
there's-
slow.
There's
Oh,
nine-
no. Sorry. I haven't updated the picture because you had the battle with Scalecap, which wrecked a few of the cannons. So
Right.
there are
Yeah.
5 cannons on the port side, 5 cannons on the starboard side, 2 cannons on the forecastle, and 0 on the quarterdeck.
Ooh.
To 12.
Yeah, you got 12.
So there's 2 at the front and none at the back.
2 at the front and none at the back. Yeah, since your fight with Scalecap, you lost a few cannonballs
Blimey.
there.
Need some cannons.
It's useful. Yeah, useful to know for upgrades and stuff.
Absolutely.
And in terms of ammunition, how much? Like, in terms of pistol and ammunition.
Ammunition, you can see, so generally a sack is about 30 bullets.
Okay.
Or 30 pieces of shot, like a large sack. And you can see that there are about 15 sacks. It's well armored. It's not too much because most people carry their own bullets with them, but it's enough to sort of restock for in needed situations.
And just in terms of the world, is it pistols or do we have rifles in this world?
There are muskets as well as pistols,
And do they use the same ammo?
and they use the exact same kind of pieces of shot. Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet. Yeah, that should be it. Yeah, just for that.
Okay. So, is anybody doing anything else with their morning? Anything they want to?
Maybe.
Do
We're using
anybody that wants to-
components, aren't we?
You are using spell components.
Cool. I would like to go and visit. You said the quartermaster for like
Mhm.
the treasure guy, right?
So the quartermaster is your like in between with the captain to talk and ask for things and that kind of thing. And the boatswain, who currently their one has lost their memory and is starting to get back into his role, as we just saw, will have all the details of what they have in stock and available to you.
Do you not have an arcane focus or any kind of spell focus?
No, I don't think so.
Or a
You didn't
components
pick
pouch.
one.
Or component pouch or something.
Yeah. I'll go
Because
with
those let you bypass
Oh,
using
if it's in this-
materials.
All materials.
Apart from ones you have to like that have a gold value.
Oh, I have a gold value one to get.
Okay, fine.
Okay, so
All ones
You
that
can
say
either-
all ones that say that they're consumed in the process as well.
So essentially, if you ask around, Tim, you'll find that a lot of the deckhands will point you to Savador, the quartermaster, because Alarias has recently lost their memory and they don't think he's doing the job much anymore.
Right. So Tim is after powdered silver. As much as you have.
Right, powdered silver. Savador, look for powdered silver. Savador turns around,
What the fuck? are you
opens his hands up, and then looks back at you and goes, "No powdered silver."
How about regular silver? I shall powder it myself.
I mean, we could start crushing down the silver coins, but I don't
Very
think the
good,
captain
very
would
well,
like
very
it
well,
very
yes.
much.
Yes.
You can't do that, can you?
I don't know, you just,
I mean,
like,
that's pretty
grate
hard.
it, I suppose.
I mean, it's silver. You just
I suppose I shall have to look elsewhere.
Perhaps when we're on the Dreamboat, you can take a look.
Yes. The Dreamboat sounds lovely.
It is Savador's favourite place of year.
I forgot he talks in third person.
This guy gives me the creeps.
Savador, not creepy.
That's enough. He runs.
Tortle boy.
That's enough. Leave me be.
Oh. So you hear him, like, last thing you hear is him just sort of grumbling. Actually, while you're running away, you see that this raven flies past you and flaps and suddenly just rests itself on Savador's shoulder. And you can see he's quite happy to see him, and none of you have seen Savador with this bird before.
Eldritch Blast. Sorry, no.
Well, Tim's never seen Salvador.
Savador.
Tim's never seen Salvador before at all, so no reaction from him.
That's fair. Everybody on deck would notice the black bird that's never been there before,
Oh,
and seemingly friendly to Savador.
that's a cute bird.
Oh, I forgot to ask about a gun. He's not ready.
Savador. Savador met Birdie long time ago.
Does Birdie have a name?
Birdie is his name of Raven.
Oh,
I talked to Raven. Raven said name Birdie.
easy to remember.
Savador thinks so.
Can I like pet it?
Sure.
You're just gonna go. Oh, cute birdie.
Gruzeel, as you're doing this, you suddenly get a flash and memory of the panther that you summoned last night. You haven't seen it since.
I wonder where my pet's gone. Did I give it a name? I don't think I gave it a name. Has anyone seen my panther? It was
Bloody
here
sort of-
yesterday.
Comes up and rests a hand on your shoulder. Aye, lad, it disappeared at dawn.
He's gonna.
I think that might have something to do with the bag.
He falls to his knees and goes, "No, my panther."
It's all right, lad. You might be able to get it again.
How?
Possibly.
What?
Just
What?
use the sack.
Immediately uses the sack.
Roll a d6 or d8. I can't remember what it is.
D8. Right. We said grey, didn't we? Yeah. Hope it's a panther again. No, giant badger.
How giant?
Oh shit!
Oh, that's not a panther.
Aye, lad. I think it might be different every time.
Oh, that's cool.
Aye, it is. Now, would you mind just making sure it doesn't do anything on your ship?
Come, badger. Let's do some work.
It follows you.
Badger friend,
This
badger
is a
friend.
giant badger. Like,
Oh,
it
yeah.
might as well be a panther.
Badger. Was a panther, but not anymore. It is a
You
badger.
notice that the rest of the crew kind of avoid you a little bit while you've got the giant badger.
He doesn't care. He's too happy about the badger.
Okay, anybody else? Anything for the morning?
Kethra, I want to get to know the Master Gunner better.
Okay. So you want to talk to Melarin, please, as you please. You're in the crow's nest with her.
So, you come here often?
She just looks at you, and then she looks out and shakes her head.
Wow. Do you any words come on that cold shoulder, or am I supposed to make all the conversation myself?
She shakes her head again.
Do you charade, or is it all just more of a guessing game?
Roll a charisma check.
Raw charisma.
Roll charisma.
Uh,
Sorry, say that again.
19 total.
19 total. She kind of looks at you and she says, I don't talk often. Waste of my air.
Well, you're a downside better than Zoro. He
Little
certainly
glitchy for me,
mine
that.
more than he wastes there. Downside better than Zoro. He's a bit too much guess and too little brain, if you ask me.
Wow.
So he's going to like sneeze, be like, "Huh, that's weird," and carry on working.
so anime, man.
Yes. Though I've seen him quite formidable with the blade.
Yes, finally got a fan on this ship.
I don't know. You ask me, he seems a bit weak. Yeah.
And you seem
He
arrogant.
passed out.
Wow.
I mean, can you blame me? I mean, he passed out the first foray I went in with him. And then he got sucked to that butthole last night, and it just... He doesn't give me much confidence. He doesn't seem to learn from his mistakes, and seems oblivious to them in the first place.
I have learned from Bloodbeard that sometimes first impressions are not all as it seems.
Well, there's a first impression, but he's on his 10th by now, and he's failed every one.
You speak as if it's a test.
Well, you said first impressions are important, and he's done terribly to me for all of this so far. So, I mean, as a fighter myself, I mean, I'm more of a pistol, if you ask me, but I certainly am handy with a blade, and seeing someone handle themselves so poorly is kind of insulting to my trade.
You do think quite highly of yourself.
Well, as a woman in this business, we both gotta think highly, otherwise the men are gonna do all the shit for us. And I'm no fan of that.
Well, I find that the silent treatment and action speak loudest amongst these foolish brains.
You're not wrong there. Like my contest against Zoro last night, being the strongest out of the two of us.
Yes, well done in your childish game. You seemed very formidable on that Tortle's back.
Hey,
Tim
you don't pick your battleground.
She just kind of sighs, rolls her eyes. Let us get back to the lookout.
So, what are we looking out for? What are you looking out for, especially on this crow's nest?
Well, we're going north towards the Dreamboat, so when we sight that, we must be clear. And if there are any dangers, we need to give warning.
And how do we know if it's the Dreamboat or an enemy?
You'll see.
But now you're being a tease. Yeah.
Rolls her eyes again.
I like this NPC.
I'd say, as you're in the crow's nest, Matt, can you do a perception check for me?
Okay, duck. That is an 11.
An 11, okay. So you won't see it before everybody else, but as the afternoon comes, you find that in your distance, there's on the horizon you see this blip. It looks like a small island with multiple ships that have docked around it. Incredibly tall island from what you can see. It must be mountainous, but the mountains are pretty weird shape. As you draw closer, the two suns' light reveals to you that this island isn't an island at all. It's a ship. Almost a barge in shape. Wooden structure and not soil or rock. This ship. It has many portholes along it. Its main deck must be as tall as the tallest mast on the Cutlass. And its masts are definitely higher than that. Its shape is slightly different in its points is definitely at the front, but as it arcs out, there is no coming back. It's more like an arrow almost than a ship shape. And it seems quite impossible that the titan of a ship could even move. As you get even closer, you find that as you get even closer, you begin to see that these almost like turtle legs made of wood are sprawling out. Homemade docks stretching out from the ship, curling round to less impede the flow of water through them. The other ships are docked and tied to theirs. There's one open ready for you. And you notice, all of you, that as you're this close to the ship and its massive height against you, you begin to hear music. You can hear little scraps of different songs reaching your ear, shanty songs. Some of you may have been familiar on sailing ships in the past. An odd-sounding trumpet can reach your ears as well, and then you hear just a taste of a sweet, softer voice that's singing a melody. It's almost a city in the size of how big this ship is. As you reach near the dock, you see the deckhand, Alarias, with his red bandana tied around his head and a huge rope, thick rope wrapped around his body, leap off the side and into the water. He swims across to this empty docking space and begins to tie the rope on a strong-looking mast. The other deckhands begin to throw smaller ropes at him to tie along the side of it to keep the ship in tow with this one. and Bloodbeard has taken the helm to guide the ship along with this. And then you begin to slow. Oh, sails up! Sails get racked up, and the ship is tied strong. You can feel yourself being tugged by this much larger ship. And Bloodbeard from the helm goes, "Welcome, lads, to the Dreamboat. We'll restock from here. You got till dusk, sun's down, twilight, to have your fun. But no, the Dreamboat is a sanctuary. There's rules here. No killing, and remember, any news of treasure gets back to me."
How does it stay afloat?
Aye, aye.
How does it stay afloat? It's massive.
That's for smarter minds to think of, lad.
True.
Have I been on this boat before, Arthur? This Dreamboat?
Nope, you've heard of it before, but you've never been on it.
Okay.
There's
And,
no point in me asking.
Not that Zoro would remember anyway.
Selective memory.
Bloodbeard actually collects all of you, and he says, "Right, you did a good job on the Nightmare, so I'm not going to make you help restock the ship. Go, have a bit of fun. Don't start at too much trouble. And relax a little bit, alright?"
Okay.
Sure, Captain.
Aye, aye.
Sweet. Off duty. Awesome.
But
Do I-
remember,
Oh.
ear is open for information. That's the best thing the Dreamboat's for.
Cool.
My ears don't really open up any more than kind of what I have.
I only
It's a-
have ear holes.
It's a figure... Never mind. Just go. You see him, he goes off and he starts commanding deckhands, like, where to go, what barrels to take with them, and everything else. So you guys board
Oh,
onto
yeah.
the Dreamboat?
I'm taking my badger
Yeah.
with me though. Come on,
Have
badger. Let's go
have I
have some
heard
fun.
anything? Have I heard anything of it particular, like interest or note to Zoro, or is it just like what have I heard about this boat?
You've only heard about it in passing. Just it's a place where people can restock, relax. It's a sanctuary for a lot of people. Pirates and other scoundrels alike are happy to rest here as long as no trouble's made. It's not a problem.
Who
Otherwise, they have to
enforces-
deal with the captain.
Okay. I was going to ask who enforces neutrality. So there's like a captain. Okay.
There is, and I'm assuming you will go in.
Yeah, I'll go on. Yeah.
So as you go in, you end up in this like massive hotel lobby, as it looks, and there's this small podium at the front, and it gleams up this massive visage of a dark-skinned man with bright blonde curled moustache and a almost wig-like hairstyle, like from kind of like a lawyer's wig situation.
Yeah.
Wearing a hat that just sits on top to a point, very well dressed, in blues and whites, and a sort of feathered neck thing. I've forgotten what it's called.
A rough.
You're off. Well, that's one. That thing. And it begins to speak like an announcement. "Hello, and welcome to my lovely Dreamboat. Now, I wish for you to have a lovely stay here, and if you could kindly not make a mess or a problem, or you will have to deal with me."
I like your moustache. How do you get it so curly?
Now, please, I suggest that perhaps you go to whatever music enchants your ears. Now, have a lovely time, and again, any trouble, and I am not afraid to kill you. And it goes.
I don't think he likes people talking about his moustache.
I think he just hates people without ears.
Maybe
Someone like him's not
that's
to be
very
trusted.
that's very racist.
So you will all
Get
know
him.
that it's almost like an enchantment on the podium. That was essentially a hologram
Oh, it's
illusion
illusion, yeah.
recording.
Like Magic Mouth.
Cool.
So what you essentially see multiple different routes for you. There's stairs to go on the top decks. There's multiple different rooms, and you notice the ship's like kind of split up into multiple different sort of themes almost. The stairs kind of lead to a more opera-like decoration, whereas if you go left, you notice that it's more wooden, more rustic. You can hear shanty kind of music to the left, and to the right, you see it's a lot darker, very chic, very minimalistic, and there's a jazz trumpet coming from that direction, and this red carpet stairway leads up, and it seemingly goes towards this serenading woman's voice that you can hear, that's very soothing, and you can hear that is coming from up the stairs. So what do you guys want to do?
I want to. Is there like a market? Oh, basically, I'm planning on selling the hooves because I still have them.
Okay, so if you look, there's like a little kind of what was it? Like a reception area for each of these kind of sections. So there's a shantytown one and another one and another one.
Right.
So if you go to all of them, they'll say. They'll each tell you, like, the opera one will kind of be like, no, we don't buy that kind of thing there. No. Would you mind keeping those in the bags? You're upsetting our guests.
I mean, okay. Okay.
The jazz one will kind of say, like, look at you and say, yeah, man. I mean, all sorts of crap gets bought in this place. You bring whatever you want, man. Smooth, okay? Keep smooth.
I mean,
he brings out like
I
a
can't.
fist.
I'm a Dragonborn, and like naturally, I'm quite scaly, so I can't really be smooth.
Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Don't you worry about it. It's all chill in here.
Oh, yeah, it is quite cool.
When you go to the shantytown, shanty-like one, where the shanty music is coming from, and the more rustic wooden look, the guy's just like, "Oi, that could probably fetch you a pretty penny. I don't know who's going to buy it from you. Most of the people in there are quite poor."
Oh, do you know anyone who would buy it from me?
You could probably talk to... Well, I don't know if he's already gone or not, but One-Eyed Bill, he loves shit like that.
Excellent. Where can I find Mr. Bill?
Mr. Bill. Well, last I saw him, he was in there, but I only just started my shift, you see. He could have gone by now.
Gruzeel will have a look in there then. Thank you.
Everybody else?
I'm gonna go over to the reception by like where was there like a woman's voice, like soothing?
Yep,
singing?
soothing woman voice, that's the staircase.
Okay, so I'll go up to there and I'll say to the reception, what's up here?
Well, tonight we have a Matilda Flanagan on. She's a very lovely voice, and there will be drinks available.
Okay, as soon as she says drinks, I'm just gonna go up.
Wines and other stuff. Sir, I hate it when they do that. Everybody else?
Probably go in the shanty area.
Oh, more customers, great. And he just waves you in.
Do I have any recollection of this place? Or
Roll a history check.
okay. What's my history? Ooh, 23.
Wow.
You remember this place fondly. When you remember Bloodbeard taking you into this place and showing you around, and you remember that your favourite place was the opera sort of like room, and you felt like you had a little bit of home there, but it wasn't too much that it was suffocating. It was a nice, nostalgic, regal feeling.
Yeah. memories of like childhood and that sort of thing.
Yeah, of shows your mother and father would have taken you to.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, in remembering that, and when that comes back, he'll probably head up.
Go back a sec.
Damn it, Tim, you're next.
I guess we could be like Tim's just like looking after everyone, like guys.
Everyone just left him.
Guys, where you go?
Sorry, I'm here.
No.
Okay.
Oh, which way are you going?
Where do you want to go?
Oh god.
what do you want?
Where did Zoro and Gruzeel go? Because that's generally what he's.
Zoro went into the regal opera kind of staircase that went up, and Gruzeel went left into the rustic wooden.
Yes. Did anyone go for the jazz trumpet? Because that's what immediately.
No.
Nobody went for the jazz trumpet.
All right, solo mission.
Everyone's gone like different ways.
So you're gonna go.
He's going for the jazz trumpet.
So you meet the guy at the door, and he's like, "Hey, man, cool. You got a shell?
Yes.
Man, that's wild, man. That's great. That's so good. You coming in here?
Yes. Do you have
man.
drinks?
Oh yeah, of course. Every room has drinks in this place, man. And we got some other stuff too. It's chill, man. It's chill.
I see why it's called the Dreamboat.
No, Tim, don't do it.
You're gonna love this, man. Come on. And he kind of puts an arm around you and kind of swings you in.
Oh my
God,
God. A
we
stone
shouldn't have left
Tim
him
would be-
alone.
Stone Tim would be hilarious.
End up with
down a
different
dark path.
Okay, so
Stealing,
this is
drinking,
interesting.
drugs.
So I'm essentially right.
3 weeks.
How am I going to do this? Okay, so
It made that easier.
right, I'm doing this in order. You're going to have to listen up as I
Oh.
tell you because of this. Right, so this is for Kethra and Gruzeel.
Oh, so I mean, we went into the same place, did we?
Yes, you guys went into the same rustic building. This is for Alarias and Zoro
What?
But it'll
on the Discord.
Oh,
And this is for Tim.
Right, just checking now.
Right, Tim, so you get the last one. The middle one is Zoro's and Alarias. And the first one is Gruzeel and Kethra's. Now, there is no particular time to start playing this. This is just to give you the theme of the room. And that's just to give you an idea of the kind of room it's like. Okay, so I'm going to start with...
What have I walked into?
So I'm going to start with Gruzeel and Kethra. So as you go in, it's wooden stools, it's splintered deck floor, and there's a band in the corner that's singing this song as you come in. And there's an old man on a stool, leaning on it, and he's got a balding head. He's a little halfling fella, and you can see he's drinking, and the bartender's kind of just trying to wipe down the side, but it's got splinters, so it's getting caught in his rag.
Sorry, carry on.
He's looking at this old man who seems to be just muttering something to himself. And there's only like 1 or 2 other people in here.
Can I see if any of them only has one eye?
As you look, nobody's wearing an eye patch. Everybody's got 2 eyes.
Okay, I'll go to the bartender and go, hello, my good man. I'm looking for a Mr. Bill. One-eyed Bill.
The old man next to you pops up. No, it's not one-eyed Bill. It's no-eyed Bill. That bloody receptionist again.
But you have eyes.
No, not me. It's me old captain. No-eyed Bill.
No eyes.
He's just on quite a journey with him. Quite a journey indeed.
I mean, he must bump into a lot of things.
No, he's quite... It's weird. You look at him and he's blank. Can't see a thing. But seemingly he sees everything.
That's really creepy.
I know. Try being on a crew with him.
At least he's not steering it. Wait.
Oh no, he steers.
Ah,
He's at the helm most of all.
yeah, remind me.
Takes you to the most wonderful of places, and also the deepest and darkest of places.
I like this. I wish I met him.
Remind me never to come onto your ship.
Oh, don't worry about that. I've retired after the last thing. I can't take it anymore.
Oh,
Most of my crew killed. I couldn't do it.
that's understandable. Do you know where he is?
I think he already left. He's not one for standing still. He quite likes adventure.
Oh.
All I know is he ain't going west again.
I was hoping to sell these hooves.
What do they look like, lad?
They look like this, and he'll put one out, bring one out.
Oh,
They're from a nightmare. It's like a horse, but it's on
you
fire.
fought a nightmare.
Yeah.
Must be quite formidable. Perhaps you can take on that ghost.
Ghost?
Stop with your old tales, you old fool.
I
You're
mean,
ruining my guests. Look at this. It's empty in here. Oh, stop, he asked.
okay. What's this about a ghost?
You see him, he's licking his lips and kind of chewing. Yes. You see, what happened was we were going west in search of something. No-Eyed Bill had a little flutter of an idea about some ship that only appeared on the moonlight was full. And we found it. Not there during the day, but only when the moon was full. It was a creepy adventure it was. And then we went on board looking for treasure. It was famed to be the old Captain Crenulous Crossbones' crew who marinated that ship. But he was cursed, so we expected it to be empty, hoping to be able to find some leftovers, if you know what I mean. But it wasn't alone. Last remaining uncursed member of the ship, a ghostly form protecting its treasures. Boy, he only left me alive so I could tell the tale.
That's nice of him.
I saw so much then. So many of me crew turned against each other through possession and blood. Oh, God.
Oh.
By the gods, it was horrible. Horrible, and that's why I've retired. I can't deal with this no more.
Well, that and you haven't got a crew, so you can't really, do a lot.
I could have gone back with No-Eyed Bill, but why would I? Would you go into such dangers?
I mean, he's blind, so no. No. But anyway, hoof.
Yes, sorry, lad. But my money is saved for keeping myself living in this here sanctuary, away from such ghostly demeanours, and keeping myself alive on grog.
Oh, that can't be good for you, but okay. But
Don't worry, lad. I'm an old man. Just let me have my pleasures.
I mean, I can't really help you with that. I'm not really that kind of Dragonborn, but okay.
I don't understand your maiden, but you're a funny fella and I enjoy talking to you. Alright, give me another round for my friend here. What's your name again?
It's Gruzeel, but it's okay.
Gruzeel, that's right. Give me a one for him.
I don't.
That would be grand.
Oh no. No,
You see him swaying, and as the minute his tanker gets filled up, he's just literally like a sippy cup.
I'll be right back. I need to use the little Dragonborn's room.
Right. Don't worry, I know it well. It's over there.
Oh, fantastic! Thank you. He'll just go outside. He'll leave.
He leaves the
Yeah.
tavern place.
Yeah.
Okay. Kethra, you would have heard all of that as well, by the way.
During that, she would have slipped on our shoes because, seeing as a ship, she would have assumed she could just walk around barefoot as normal. But seeing the splinters, she would have thought twice about that.
Cat is barefoot normally.
On the ship, yeah.
Oh right. Okay. I just do.
Easier to swim.
Makes sense.
And climb the rigging.
Easy to slip over.
I mean, wood's pretty friction heavy.
She's asking around see where she can buy bullets from.
Are you?
Curing bullets.
You see that there's one in there. Oh, you want some bullets, do ya?
That's what I'm looking for.
Right. Well, he lifts up his jacket and he looks in his pockets. How much you offering for bullets?
What?
How much you offering for bullets?
Well, how much? How many?
Well, they're hard to come by, you know. Tell you what. I got a special pack. And he brings out this very small sack of bullets. And he's like, I'll sell you these for 100 gold.
Very expensive.
Whoa.
What kind of duff bullets are they supposed to be?
Well, these special little bastards don't disappear after you shoot somewhere. They have a little teleportation enchantment on them that put them straight back in the bag.
Oh, infinite bullets, man.
Sounds pretty good.
That's,
If you tell
that's
me the
pretty
truth.
good. That's pretty. Yeah, if it works.
It sounds fancy, but if you got, I need some kind of proof this is going to work for 100 gold.
Tell you what, lad. I'll show you. He opens the bag,
Perfect.
and he's like, you see, there's about 5 bullets in there.
About 5 or exactly 5? Let
He
me have a look.
puts them out on his hand, and he rolls them out, showing you like that.
So exactly 5 bullets.
And there's exactly 5 bullets.
Okay. 5
Puts them-
bullets.
He puts them back in the bag and holds on to one. He's like, don't worry about the sound. They'll probably bring in the guards, but we'll just explain we were doing a little test. Why don't
Can
we?
I hold the bag and so just to double check there's 4 in there now?
I'll show you again. And he brings them out and he puts them on his hand and he's like, you see, 4 bullets.
Okay, very well. 4 bullets. Would you like to double check?
He puts the bag in his mouth because he's like trying to show you at the same time. He like pulls back and aims and it's like, hey bartender, what part of the ship do you hate the most?
Oh my god.
And he's just looking and he's like, well, I've been meaning to repair that stool over there, so yeah, go ahead. And he's like, alright then.
Oh
And he
God.
fires it. And he hits the leg of the stool that's cracked and it just snaps. And it falls down. And then he's like, now wait a moment. And he brings that out. Opens up the sack. And you see there is 1 bullet in there.
What did
And the other 4 in his hand.
Ah,
Mm.
that's
Okay.
pretty good.
And then he just runs them all in, and ties them up, and puts them in his pocket. While I'm on the Dreamboat, I don't need such a thing. Might as well sell it for more grog and rum.
So he's saying 100 gold for the 5.
100 gold for the whole little sack that holds the 5, yes.
So is there any? So is it? Let me get this straight. Is it the bag that's magical, or is it the bullets in the bag?
It's both, sir. Each bullet is inscribed with the you know how teleportation works, don't you?
No.
Boy, don't worry, neither did I before I had to sell these things and buy them. These little bullets, these pieces of shot, they have inscribed on them a small teleportation circle. That is in the bag as well. There's a little activation that happens once the bullet slows to a full stop. And then it activates, appears back in the bag, like nothing ever happened.
Full stop.
Interesting.
So as they sink to the bottom of the ocean, it's going to take a long time for it to get back in your bag.
Give or take. So here's a theory for you. If someone was to use dispel magic on them, because I've seen a mage or two use such a spell before, would that be affected by? Would the bullets be affected by that? I would assume areas of non-magic would affect it, but that's
Well, I'm not going to lie to you, lad. I had the same question, and the guy I bought them off didn't know either, and neither do I. You'll just have to test that out. Come on, look at these magic little fellers. They're probably worth 500 gold for the whole thing. I'm giving it to you at quite a sale.
Ooh.
Suspicious, if you ask me.
Sounds a bit too good to be true. So you're saying if I have somebody who inscribes the same thing on more bullets, they would also be charmed the same way.
You got to enchant the bullets to activate the teleportation circle when it stops.
That wasn't a no.
Highly suspicious.
How do you know? How do you do? Okay, that's fine. But if a new bullet could be enchanted in such a way.
Yeah, of course. You just got to have the right person to do it.
I have come into some wealth in recent times. I'll pay 80 gold for them.
Aye, lad, it's hardly a steal of a price at 100. Don't you
Oh,
be swindling me now.
Well, for all I know, you could be swindling me.
What are you talking about? I showed you them working.
Yeah, but they're only 5 bullets, and when they slow to a stop, that could be any time, anywhere. Bullets like that will sink, will they not?
Persuasion check.
On a boat, they would rarely stop. Persuasion. That is a 14.
How about 90?
It's more agreeable. I'll pay you 90.
Great. 90 then.
Nice.
So if you mark off 90 gold,
Yep, I'll remove 90.
the minute you give him that money, he's straight to the bartender.
He's
And you see the old man begins to start trying to tell him the story, and he's just like, "Shut up, old man, I'm here for a beer."
More than fair, if you ask me.
So, what do I mark these down as?
Okay, so I will put it in your inventory later, but essentially just write down in your notes or in your equipment 5 unlimited bullets, or 5 back-to-pouch bullets.
Okay.
pretty good. I mean, yeah.
It's quite a steal.
Mm.
Okay.
I'm like a little suspicious still, but let's see.
So am I. I mean,
I still think that the whole water, it's sinking in the water thing is going to be a factor because we have, have no idea how deep flood goes.
True.
That's
True.
I'll be interested to see what happens.
Yeah.
I don't know, I've got that written down. That'll be me done.
Okay. They're in their own personal little sack, so that's the other thing you've got to keep track of. Okay, so let's go to
So
Alarias.
just to say though, Gruzeel would go back into the jazz one because he said that they would buy all
Yes.
sorts of shit. So I would be going back to the high guy.
Okay, so we'll do Alarias and Zoro first, and then when we go to Tim will have some time before you get in there.
That's fine.
Okay, so Alarias and Zoro, if you want to play your music now or whatever, so you get the vibe. It's very...
Oh, are we in the same place?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you two
yeah.
are in the same place. It's
Okay.
very serene. You come into a almost red velvet room, very sleek tables, a very clean bar. This place is plush. It's very, very nice, very, very decorative. And you see a blue-skinned tiefling woman with horns curling back. She seems to have quite small horns for a tiefling, almost like she's a little bit of something else. And she is the one singing this song to you. And she's singing it, and there's no stick there, but it seems like her voice is being projected a little bit extra, which is different to you.
Okay.
You'd be Alarias, you'd be able to tell that it's thaumaturgy that she's using to project her
Yeah,
voice, and
yeah.
she's controlled it in a way to do volume.
Good use of thaumaturgy.
The bartender is... No, I'll carry on with her. She's basically wearing this red dress that's very slender, very ball gownish. It's very, very very regal in a way. It's sparkling at the same time as its red sort of shimmers down toward her feet.
Mhm.
Her tail is just like there's a sewn opening ready for her tail to rest out. At the bar, there's a high elf with pointed ears, a very short black hair in a ponytail, small, very tiny ponytail that pokes out. He's wearing a black waistcoat and a black bow tie under a shirt, and is essentially wiping down the bar. You can see behind him there's many different glasses and many different drinks. You could probably ask for a cocktail here if you have that idea about you of mixing drinks. This room's a little bit more filled out, and you see an old halfling man at the bar.
What the hell?
Okay.
Okay. That's weird.
I mean,
mhm.
personally, as Alarias walks in, he's gonna be like taken aback as soon as he sees the tiefling.
Oh my God.
it's gonna throw him a bit because he loves the music. But
When you see her, can you roll a history check again for me?
Ooh.
Ooh,
Ooh.
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 oh no, that sucks. 7.
7. It's not quite in your grasp. You feel like she's familiar, but younger. She was younger, but definitely familiar.
Can I remember a vibe, like a bad or a good vibe?
It
when I
wasn't
see
a
her
bad
face?
vibe. She was
Okay.
probably, I'd say it's not a bad vibe. You're familiar. You kind of recognize her. It's not a bad or good vibe. You just kind of, you got that familiar feeling of deja vu. I've seen that face before.
Okay,
Um,
he won't be as disgusted then.
Okay. So this room is mainly filled with, it's got a very regal looking family of humans, and then on another corner, in a corner booth, there's a couple of high elves who are chatting, very delicately eating some food. And there's a wine bottle almost on each table with a candle melting in the middle.
Fancy.
What do you guys want to do?
I'll go up to the bar next to the halfling man, and first I'll order a drink. So I'll kind of like wave over the bar person, bartender.
Oh, hello there, lad. What brings you here?
A drink, something strong. Got anything green as well?
Oh my
Have a first.
Yo,
Green man, really?
Green, sir.
Yep. Surely that's not beyond you.
You would not like to partake in the wines. You would rather a cocktail, sir.
Yeah, that sounds good. As long as it's strong and boozy
And green.
and green. Yeah.
It's like a weird request.
May I recommend the spinached iced tea? Or would
like
you
it?
like this to be a little bit more alcoholic?
Oh, definitely
Absinthe.
more alcoholic.
just go for absinthe.
Absolutely, sir. Let me see if I can rustle you something up.
Excellent. And why don't you tell me a bit about this place while you're at it?
Yes, sir. Well, this is our slightly more regal lounge. This is where most of the more people who prefer the finer things end up. And he's like shaking something and throwing it around and that kind of thing, and doing spectacular things while completely just talking to you like nothing's happening. And he's like, yes, and as you can see, we have Miss Matilda Flanagan. She's our current consistent singer at the moment. She's very good, don't you think?
Oh yeah, she's lovely. Yeah. Maybe she might have heard of me actually. Don't like to boast, but
As he says that, I'm going to cut in and say, Zoro, no one's heard of you. Come on.
so it's gonna be like look of like utter like horror on his face and be like, but no.
So your name is Zoro, sir?
Yeah.
Oh, hello. Very kind to meet you. I wonder, Alarias, I think we've met before.
Yes. This place looks familiar to me.
Yes, let me get you your favourite.
Oh.
There we go. I love
we
it. It's
go.
green.
Yeah.
So he's going to lean into Alarias and say, Alarias, if you think you're going to steal my thunder here, you got to think of
And he slides you over and it's a red wine, and it looks very deep in colour, and you catch the bottle, and it looks very, very old, almost like beginning of the flood old.
Wow.
Wow.
And
Is
he
he
puts
charging
it,
us for this, by the way? He hasn't mentioned any coins yet.
and he puts it back, and then after he finishes your drink, and he puts it down, and he says, "That'll be 25 gold
Oh!
To
glass
who?
of wine.
Me?
to both of you. Are you not paying together?"
Oh, yeah. Alarias has said he's got me covered.
Okay, Zoro.
I'll start drinking my cocktail.
Wow. I'm only covering this because you may or may not have saved my life.
May not! I definitely say.
Across the borderline, I probably could have saved myself.
Alright, what's a few coins between friends?
No, that's fine. Yeah, I'll pay it.
Alright, nice.
Jeez, 25. This might better be worth it.
I'm gonna wink at the bartender while I'm drinking it and say, you're quite lucky that you met me here today. Maybe you'll be able to tell your grandkids about me.
I see. Well, that's very kind of you, sir, but I meet a lot of people.
Oh, you never met anyone like me.
No, and I've never heard of you either.
That's for sure.
You will, as I said. This is a momentous day for you.
Yes, well, as long as you don't cause any trouble.
Oh, no trouble. So you
Good.
get a different singer in what, every day, every week? Do they just come and sing, or do they get paid for it, or what?
Well, Miss Matilda Flanagan here is a bit of a regular of ours. She actually lives here on the Dreamboat in one of our rooms.
Does she really?
Yes, I'd say she's here. She plays pretty much every day, actually, just at different times. But she's become such a pleasure for most of our guests. We've decided to put her in the 8 o'clock slot.
Is she taken by anyone?
What do you mean,
Jesus,
sir?
alright.
She is employed here.
Oh, okay. That's good.
What time does she finish her shift?
No, I believe this is, in fact, her last song. In fact, she'll finish here, and being the time and everything, we'll probably have a little bit of quiet for our guests. They like to have a serene moment. We have a few illusion recordings for such situations.
Interesting. Does she normally go back to her quarters, or does she stay for a drink, or?
She quite often visits the bar, sir. I'm sure she'll be round in a moment once she's happily finished with her song and comfortable.
Perfect.
I'm staring at Alarias, by the way.
By the way, Alarias, this wine flushes back in your memory of just, this is the best thing you've ever tasted. This is your favourite. You love this wine.
Yeah, I can see why I like it.
And Zoro, this cocktail it's creamy, it's sweet, and then you suddenly get a steep burn in your throat of the alcohol hitting down.
Sounds lovely.
Is it green?
It's green.
I want to drink it if it was.
It's lime green.
Oh my god.
What's- Is the halfling guy near us?
Yeah.
Yes, but you kind of shouted him early, so he's back, sort of leaning back into his drink. He's seemingly just having a beer, but it's in it's a very nice glass that he's having it in.
Okay. While we're waiting for the woman to come over, I'll talk to him a bit, if I can.
Oh, hello there again, lad. Did I hear your name was Zoro?
Ah, I see you've heard of me.
Well, just now you were talking to the bartender, so he said your name.
Oh, okay.
No one's heard of you.
Well, as I was saying to our mutual friend here, you'll be happy one day for this. So, what's your story? What are you doing here?
Oh, I was under the captainship of No-Eyed Bill, and we came to different terms, and I decided to retire my my adventure in life and live here.
Can I run a history check when Zoro's talking to this guy
What's your history check on?
to see if I remember this halfling?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, never mind. That's a 9.
Yep, never seen him before. The bartender actually cuts in at this point and says, please, sir, could you just make sure... You've been very good tonight, but I have heard from the other staff how you can bother guests sometimes.
Me?
Not you, sir.
Oh.
The halfling, sir.
Oh.
I'm not bothering the lad. I'm just simply talking to him.
He's just talking, that's right.
It's very pleasant, isn't it, Mr. Zoro?
Please, just call me Zoro.
Where did you say you come from? You look like a Kenshimer man.
So I was gonna look very kind of rattled by this and say, do you know Kenshima?
Why, of course I do. It's a lovely place this time
Oh.
of year.
Well, as it so happens, I am from Kenshima, although I must say I don't meet many people who would be able to pick that out just by looking at me.
Oh, well, I'm a very intuitive kind of halfling.
Yeah, it's the green hair.
It's the hair. Yeah, sorry. It's a big giveaway. I'm sorry.
No, I'm the only, believe it or not, I'm the only person on Kenshima who had this hair.
I like to
Oh,
think...
he's right. Many Kenshimer don't necessarily have green hair. It is odd, but it was more your features that made me think of it.
I always thought it meant I was destined for great things, to be honest.
Well, you
Only one so far.
very well off now, I think. I think you did a great job. How'd you get out here then? Who are you with?
Captain Bloodbeard, we sail under him.
Bloodbeard, you say?
Yeah, he picked
Oh,
me out
it's-
especially when he met me.
Yes, the red beard, blue jacket, very rough-looking fella, right?
Zoro shrugs. Yeah, I don't know. He does have a beard.
Aye, interesting. And so, what is your job on the crew? You look like a regular deckhand to me.
Starts firing on his drink again. Regular deckhand. And I set this man straight.
Aye, I meant no offence. It's just, your hands
Well,
don't look too worn to be at the mast for that long.
You've hit the nail on the head. He is a big man.
Right. You know what, Fen?
And you look to me like you're one of those Batswain types, right? Alarias, was it?
2 out of 2 there, my friend. I am.
Oh yes, I think I'm starting to get an idea of you two. You look to me like you're one of those wizard folk, right? Magically inclined, is that it?
He's gonna look at him very suspiciously, like.
You know,
Okay, pal. Okay, pal. Where are you getting your information from?
Well, look, you're wearing that spell book and that components pouch there.
Okay. I'll give that to you.
What did you say your name was again?
Oh, my name's Old Man Nebern, or that's how I'm referred to in these parts.
Very well informed, old man.
Yes, well, I like to know more, you know?
You got any interesting gossip?
None
Tales
that's
of
worthy
treasure?
of sharing with such fine fellows like yourself. Now tell me, out of curiosity, what are you on this ship for long, lads, or perhaps you need to get back by a certain time or something like that?
No, it's okay. You've had your questions. It's time for ours.
Yeah, we're in no rush.
Do you know of any tales of treasure
Oh,
on these seas?
Or swords. Swords would be good as well.
I know the tale of a Captain Crenulous Crossbones. He's an old captain from it's a long time ago, but he was cursed. He had a ferociousness about him, and nobody actually knows where he's buried. Somewhere out west, I last heard.
Right. What use is that to us?
Well, a captain as famous as Captain Crenulous Crossbones has probably got a fair treasure on him, right?
Yeah, but where is the treasure? You don't know.
Well, I couldn't possibly know. Of course not. I'm
gonna lean into the guy and say, "Look here, pal. We've been very friendly with you, okay? But we really need some treasure. All right? You got anything good for us? Come on. We're all
Roll
friends here.
intimidation.
Okay. $18.
Aye, okay, lad. Okay, Rook, calm down. Calm down.
I'm very calm. Aren't I calm, Alarias?
Yeah, he's calm.
Look, all I wanted was to be friends. That's all. Just get a bit of communication back and forth. Learn a little about each other. Not many people talk to me in this part of the ship. I tend to find I'm a little bit ignored.
Mm-hmm. It's good to look at him. Just...
And the treasure?
I told you, lads. That's all the possible treasure I could even think of right this moment. I mean, you could look at loot in this ship, but nobody would do that, would they? Bartender sort of stops, looks at him. I only mean it as a joke.
I'm just gonna nudge Zoro and like, no, stop this.
Yeah, like, look, me eyes with Alarias. I think a mutual understanding, and then that's my drink.
Well, fellas, you said you were with a Captain Bloodbird. Where is he sailing to next, out of curiosity?
What are you going to tell us? Because I'm kind of done with this conversation, to be honest with you.
Yeah, sorry, we can't give that kind of information away. Confidential.
What do you mean? Just humour an old man. Look at me. I got no one to talk to. I need a little bit of talk. That's all.
I'm up and down, and then go back to my drink.
I'm just gonna motion to Zoro and like, is there any free booths?
There are free booths.
Yeah, I'm just gonna motion to Zoro and say, let's sit down over there.
Let's do that. Good idea.
No fun anyway. And he gets off his stool and he goes into the seemingly lavatory.
Seemingly.
Suspicious.
Well, it looks like it would be a lavatory door.
Okay.
Okay, the singer finishes her set, and she walks over to the bar and starts talking with the barman, and her elbows are on the side, and she's kind of just like this, and you can see she just pushes her hair back every so often, and she's leaning on, sort of looking at him, waiting for a drink.
I'll go over.
Wow.
Alarias is gonna try and beat him there.
I'm gonna run over. I'm gonna run as fast as it takes to beat Alarias there.
Wow. Dex save. Dex.
I was going to say, this is a dex save contest, I think.
Try and next to her as well.
If Zoro runs, Alarias won't run. He's civilized. He's not. He won't stoop to that level.
So she's in kind of the middle. Are you guys going to just either side her?
No.
Yeah, I'm on the right side.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
It's gonna go that way.
How anime is Zoro? It's unbelievable.
She looks at Zoro, and then she looks at Alarias when he eventually turns up and is just like, well, I think you're just a little bit too keen.
I think you
There you go.
And she turns to Alarias.
Wow.
Now, my dear, what can I do for you?
Do you remember me?
She looks at you for a moment, really looks at you and goes, I think so. Many people come here, you know.
Oh dear, my Skype crashed.
She basically looked at you and went, you're too keen, and turned to Alarias.
I was going to say to her, and you're far too interesting.
Wow.
I'll be with you in a moment. I'd like to take my time with things.
Wow.
She's turned to Alarias and says that, and then she goes, Yes, You know what? You are familiar. I have seen you before. You see, there's just so many here. So many people. So many adoring fans.
Wow.
Was I one of your adoring fans?
I think you enjoyed my music, yes. I remember a clap or two, at least. I think perhaps you kept a distance. I can't quite remember, but I believe I remember you most when I was much, much younger.
Wait, sorry, my Skype lagged there a bit. What was that?
No. I believe I remember you when I was much, much younger. I
Yes.
think I must have been barely a child. Yes, no, you were very kind, though you did keep a certain distance. You seem to have I don't know, some kind of strict rules or something, if I remember correct. I can't quite. But
Yeah, he doesn't really like tieflings, to be honest, or many non-human races.
So
Jesus
she
Christ,
turns back
Zoro.
and she's like, "Is that so, my dear?"
Oh, did you not know? Yeah, this is my I wouldn't say good friend, my crewmate Alarias, and yeah, he's got quite a thing against tieflings and other non-human
South
races.
fast.
Jesus Christ.
Clever.
Sorry, come on. That's just us.
Can you roll persuasion, please?
Make it up.
That's awful.
Hey, if I can't. 16.
She goes, "Well, that's not how I remember it."
Oh, really? I mean, maybe you're thinking of someone else then.
She puts her hand on Alarias' hand and sort of says, "You were actually quite kind to me in my time of need, and well, for that, I'm forever grateful. Even if you can't remember it."
Yeah, you see, I lost my memory, but I always knew I was a caring person.
Okay.
Yes, you were. And when my deadbeat father left me for whatever adventure he sought out, you were there. And you brought me here. And that is where I have been most profitable.
Interesting.
Wow. I brought you to your peak, to where you should be, singing that beautiful music.
No, I have quite the voice. Now, I believe I have ignored your friend for too long. He seems quite excited to meet such a celebrity. Hello, dear.
Actually, I was coming to tell you. You probably heard of me, but.
In what
Actually,
way, dear?
You seem a bit too small time, actually, for me.
Wow.
I think I'll just get another drink.
Wow.
Perhaps next time I'm around here, you can come look me up.
I think perhaps this conversation is quite over.
That's funny. You stole the words right out of my mouth.
Wow.
She turns. As she turns, her tail whips you on the back of the neck.
I'm gonna say, hey, that's a sexual assault where I come from.
Zoro, you gotta be kind to the lady.
I'm being kind. I'm just like, look, you know, I just don't want her throwing herself at me like that. All right, I want to have a bit more respect for us.
Easily offended, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Is that
I must
I think
say,
it hurt his
if you're
ego.
going to survive in this kind of place, you've got to be able to take a little poke of fun.
turn to her and say, oh, were you talking to me? I thought this conversation was over.
Oh my god.
She shakes her head and she's like, "I think perhaps, my dear friend, this man has had his time in the nice lounge." And he goes,
What?
"Right away, lady, my lady, right away."
That wasn't going to end any other way, was it? Really?
Yeah.
You said-
Two guards come in and basically like, "This one?" "Yes, he's fine, but that one has to go."
Hold up. Do you know who I am?
Zoro, just drop it.
They both lean in on you and they say, no, and we really don't care. And they lift you up. Are you going to resist?
How big and scary do they look? Like, what are they?
They are both taller than you, bulkier than you, and
Please
half
get yourself
orcs.
killed.
They're half.
Shit.
Oh, I don't want to die on this boat. I'm just gonna.
Come
Before
on
they,
now.
before they reach for me, can I just like stand up myself?
Yeah?
I'll stand up myself and be like, well, I think it's time for me to take my leave. Woman, Alarias, I'll see you later.
I think that's fair. Come on now. You can go to one of the other rooms. And they usher you out. You go back into the main lobby and you can decide where you want to go. Alarias, just for expediency, what kind of,
Yeah.
like, are you just going for?
I just want to get a sense of like what I did for her and what I did when I came here and how I interacted with her and that sort of thing. Just to get my memory back, really.
Okay, so essentially what she's relays to you is that her drunkard father, Jack Flanagan, who's a mess, absolute mess, basically nearly killed her by leaving her on some cruise ship as a stowaway in the hopes of attempting to steal something. And that ship was the Cutlass, and you found her while doing your boatswain duties.
Wow.
Took kind on her because she seemed sweet and innocent, and she reminded you of your love.
Yeah.
And basically you decided that you were going to wait until you got to the Dreamboat and allow her to live out the rest of her days there. And she was quite happy with you, but you never let her hug you or anything like that. A little bit too far for you to stretch.
Yeah, that makes sense. Never let it get too close.
That was essentially all it come through. But can you do a perception check for me? Just looking around where you are now.
Yeah, it's perception. 18.
You notice that the little halfling fella has been in that lavatory a really long time. And then you notice the door open. But it's not a little halfling fella that comes out. It's a very tall, regal-looking nobleman with, he's a human, black hair, black moustache, black goatee. And he begins to walk to the exit.
Lavatory or something. Oh, you
Haven't
don't
looked in.
know. Okay.
I mean, Alarias will pick it up, take note, and like he'll keep chatting to the tiefling lady, and then
Okay.
he probably will try and check out the lavatory before he goes.
Okay. So we'll go to Tim. Tim, as you come in, it's very, very dark.
Yep.
There are small dancing light globules just going around the room.
Yep.
And there's a man on a saxophone looking trumpet
Mm-hmm.
just in the corner stage. And there's
Going wild.
beanbags. And then there's some chairs. And it's just quite dark. And there's a guy behind the bar. And there are some glasses behind him. And he's also in a waistcoat. But no black tie. It's just an open buttoned shirt.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. Tim
And
will
the
go
music that I put on is what you hear when you come in.
I've got it. Don't you worry.
I mean, Tim will hit the bar.
Well, hey there. So, Small Fry, what do you want?
Do you know where I could find? Do you know where I could find some powdered silver?
Well, never heard that before. I got some powdered stuff, but it sure ain't silver.
No, sir, no.
Alright, no need to offend. This is the chilled out bar area. I'll see what I can do. let me just check my stocks, and then after that, I'll see if I can ask around for you. How about that, kid?
Thank you, my friend. Perhaps a drink while I wait.
Absolutely. What's your feeling tonight?
Ooh, you might have to make a recommendation there.
Tell you what, I'll make my famous special.
Sounds wonderful.
And he puts a martini glass down with an olive and a stick in it and on the side, and he starts shaking up a drink. You can't really see what he's doing to it. He's just shaking it up and putting a bunch of stuff in it. And then he pours it in, and then he's like, wait. Lights a match off the top and lights the top.
Ooh. It's magnificent.
My flaming resistance. It's great. It's great.
Tim takes a little sip.
Do you try to blow out the flame first?
No.
Take 1 damage of fire. Whoa, kid! You gotta blow it out first.
Oh god. That defeats the point. Where have my heavenly god down to 7 health?
Oh boy.
Yeah, how does it taste? Other than like burning.
Taste. So after the burn, you take a step back and you go to sip it again. It's quite a strong, bitter flavour. You can kind of taste that there are multiple differences. It's a little bit salty.
Mm-hmm.
And as you drink it, it kind of reminds you of the seawater from home as you were swimming through, and every so often just got a little taste in your mouth.
Oh, Tim tears up a little bit.
Kind of nostalgic there, and then as you drink, you find as you get close to the bottom, you feel it gets a little bit thicker, syrupy, and you get this really strong sweet taste. And then it goes down, and then could you roll a Constitution saving throw, please?
Yes, that is a 4.
A 4.
Oh my god.
Man, this bartender's beginning to look a little bit wavy. His form kinda snakes a bit. Ain't that right, kid? Ain't that the best goddamn drink you ever tasted in your entire life?
Oh boy, I think it is.
Now just enjoy the music and you're gonna have a whale of a time.
He just continues weeping.
Okay, at this point, Gruzeel, you would enter the bar. See Tortle Tim.
My friend, you
Tim!
must get yourself one of these drinks.
Again, Gruzeel is kind of waving.
It's okay. I'll give it a miss. This time. You carry on.
More for me, I suppose.
Yeah. Are you okay? You look a little bit woozy.
I'm well. This man is going to find me some powdered silver.
Oh, okay. All right. Where'd you? How long's he gonna be?
I'm not sure. He was distracted by the drink.
When you look back at the bar, he's gone.
How populated is the place in general?
It's pretty low key. It's quite early in the night for like partying or anything like that.
The
It's
only
kind
people
of
there.
kind of the afternoon, evening. So
Okay.
it's like 1 or 2 people and this jazz person and the bartender. It's pretty low key.
I met a strange fellow. He was talking about some treasure. I'm sure the captain will be interested.
Oh, sorry, I coughed. What did you say?
I heard about some treasure that the captain might be interested in.
Yes, we must take any lead we can find.
Although it's a bit like go west and has to be at night. And then this ship appears. And there's a ghost.
A ghost ship.
Yeah. And then we have
I've
to
heard of these things.
I have to kill the ghost, and then there's treasure.
How would one kill a ghost?
I don't know. I hit it and see what happens.
Yes. Perhaps we could befriend the ghost.
Oh, it's a good idea.
Tell me, have you ever heard of the ceremony of marriage?
Yes. Well,
Perhaps if we married the ghost, we could share the treasure.
that's.
This is why I must find the powdered silver.
What?
As Gruzeel's form starts snaking, suddenly when you look around him, the lights get like really bright in places. And when you're talking about this marriage thing, you swear you see a bride in the corner. And then you look back and she's not there anymore.
I mean, I don't know if I'd really want to marry a ghost because, like, that'd be weird. And like, how would you? I don't know how that would work.
I'm not sure what you're getting at.
Okay.
Perhaps we should sit down.
Okay. Aren't you sitting down?
His body shifts by like 5 degrees. Yes, I am now.
Well, okay. Well, let's hope he's got good treasure. I mean, if he's a
Yes,
ghost,
yeah.
we could just walk through him.
We will tell the others. What is it? West.
Yes. But I have no idea how much.
So out from behind the bar, almost like appearing out of nowhere, he didn't walk behind it, he didn't anything, he just popped up. And he's just like, I'm sorry, man, but
Holy
I
shit.
ain't got none. No silver dust that you're looking for.
Mm,
Do
perhaps we
you
will need
want to buy some hooves?
Oh man, there's some weird shit being bought tonight, but I don't think I'm interested in hooves. I mean, what kind of hooves are they?
They're from a nightmare. So let me tell you, it's a horse.
Man, that shit's
It would
bitter.
already be-
It
Made out
ain't
of-
tasty for a drink.
it's made
I
out
ain't
of fire.
interested.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but that's not the kind of thing I want to put in my drinks. Perhaps if you came to me with something like, I don't know, a unicorn horn or some kind of other angelic shit like that, I could put it in a drink and have a new celestial line.
well, you could buy them, horror them out, and drink from it. Be like a...
I got enough glasses here that's supplied by the Dreamboat itself.
Oh. Okay. But it'd be like fancy, I guess. And if you put like a drink on fire, in like a fire hoof, it'd be like fiery.
It would be very on brand.
Yes.
Yeah, man, but I don't want to screw with any of that nightmare shit. Have you seen one of those things? They're
Yeah.
terrifying.
We fought
We
one.
slew one.
Yes.
We
That's how we.
slew it.
You killed this one?
Yeah, that's how we got the hooves. I mean, we don't just
Oh,
find those
damn,
things.
that offers you a free drink.
Oh, can I have like orange juice?
You want a mocktail?
No. Yes.
Yes.
Wait.
Starts
What?
making one up. And he pours it out, puts a lemon on the side, and then he shakes another one up for Tortle Tim. It's the same as before, he lights it again,
Yes.
and he slides them across.
Is mine on fire as well?
Nope,
I was gonna say because yeah, it's weird.
just his.
You must remind me what this drink is called.
I told you it's my fire resistance. If the captain says it to you, you're gonna love it. His accent, it sounds great.
So
Oh, you must give me the recipe.
Gruzeel doesn't really know what a mocktail is, so he
I can't
assumes
do
it's-
that. That's secret.
So he doesn't know what a mocktail is, so he'll assume it's like a cocktail, which has got alcohol in it, so he'll sip it, but then realise there's no alcohol in it because, oh, and then just downs the whole thing.
Yeah, drink it, my friend.
This is
Not everybody
excellent.
has to get wasted to have a good time.
Man, you are so right. You should.
Everything's chill here, brother.
I like this. Can I have another one, please?
Of course you can. Just saying, it's probably coming up to, 7 gold.
We have to pay for these.
Oh yeah.
Back on the ship, we were just given them.
You were part of the crew on your other ship, I would imagine. You're a guest here, son.
Oh. You are quite a rude host.
Oh my god.
I'll tell it like it is, and I'll tell it how it should be, so I'm sorry about that.
Is it 7 for both or just mine?
Both.
I'll pass it.
That's actually pretty reasonable.
Yeah. I'll pass him. I'll give him 7 gold.
Ah, that's crack-a-lackin', my man.
Cracker. Okay.
Thank you. I'm sorry if I was rude.
It's okay, you don't seem like you're from around here, so I'll let you slide.
Thank you kindly.
Do you know anyone who would buy these hooves?
I'm sorry, man, but if anyone told you to come in here with those, I imagine they were expecting you to maybe be something that could be used by me. I tend to be the only one who buys anything around here. You could try, but I don't see many merchants or anything like that.
Oh,
Not in here.
maybe next time.
Perhaps we could make our own cups with them. Form some sort of cup gang.
I mean, I'd rather sell them,
Hmm.
you know. Make some money out of it.
I could buy them from you. Make my own cups.
I don't think you have enough. Do you? How much? They're like, how much was it? 70 gold? That we sell.
You weighed it up as about 25 gold for each hoof.
So 25, so 100 gold. It's about 100 gold.
Hmm. Would you sell me one for 20?
One hoof.
Mates rates.
I mean, the problem, Tim, is that things like this come in like sets, and if you remove one, it's no longer a set. So
You have half a horse, or even less.
Well, this is the thing. You'd have like 3/4 of a horse. It doesn't really work. People buy this people want a collection. You see, so it severely reduces the overall price if you remove one from the set.
That sounds like some advanced economics, but thank you for letting me down easily.
No problem, Tim.
Perhaps we should find the others.
Yeah, I'm sure Zoro's got himself into trouble.
Zoro sneezes where he is.
Kethra,
Hello.
are you, once you get your bullets, are you staying in that tavern?
She probably would leave and head towards the ship to test. But she wouldn't go on the ship. She'd be more on the section, like dock area.
So you'd go towards the ship and towards the dock area. Okay, so as you're all coming to your comfortable parts of the evening, suddenly all the candlelight, all the illusionary magic, suddenly all goes out. All goes really dark everywhere. And you all hear a scream.
Shit.
From where?
Coming from the lobby.
Oh
Oh,
dear.
am I in the lobby? Because I got escorted out.
No, so as it goes dark, you can't see anything, and then you hear this hellish scream, and then these lights come on, and you notice that there's a few of you. As you're all exiting the doors, as you're all leaving, you find, and Kethra, as you come, I'm assuming after you've done your testing, you come back into the Dreamboat, or not?
Is the test successful? Like shooting it into the water, does it come back relatively quick?
When it impacts the water, it begins to slow down. You look back in your pouch and you see a wet bullet appear in your pouch.
Nice.
Okay, sweet. She's content
Nice.
to go back in.
Okay, so as she goes back in,
Doesn't Rob?
it's dark. There's a loud scream as you're all sort of leaving your rooms, essentially. And then everybody rushes in, and the lights come back on, and the old halfling body
Oh no.
is in the middle of the lobby with a knife in his back.
Did I see anything when I went into the lavatory?
When you went into that lavatory, it was a single cubicle.
Okay, I'm pretty suspicious now.
I would go over to the body and just like examine it.
So this knife is a pretty regular knife. It looks like whoever stabbed him would have been splattered with blood. And then you hear a click, and gates slam down at the front of the Dreamboat. All the doorways get slammed down,
Oh no.
and then the illusion visage of the captain comes back up. I have heard a disturbance on my ship. I believe there has been a murder. I am not happy. I will be investigating this murder, and no one is allowed to leave until our investigation is finished. You are all suspects.
Are we all in the lobby? Are we in like locked in different places?
Everybody's locked down in the lobby.
Okay.
It was Zoro.
I hope because I was arguing with him, no one comes up to me. Yeah, I'm gonna stand up and like try and look innocent and like not go near the body actually.
Okay,
Go
so-
into the corner and just basically like, sit down and put a hat over her eyes and like just go.
As you look around you, you can see that the 3 receptionist people are there. There are a couple of noble families. The singer from the lounge is there with Alarias. The bartenders are in their rooms. The man that sold you your bullets is in there. And there is a young boy with his father also, who seems to have come from the jazz room, also in there.
What races are there, all the receptionists?
So the receptionist for the opera place was an elf, half elf actually, and the receptionist for the jazz room was he was a human, and the receptionist for the shanty sort of tavern place was also a human.
Okay, so the half-elf one
Yeah.
has dark vision, so he should have seen something, in theory. But okay,
You would assume.
yeah.
Anyway, I think we should leave off there. So,
Cliffhanger.
next time, Pirate
mystery.
Adventures. Will Tim ever get over his drink?
No.
Will Zoro stop pissing people off?
No.
Never.
Who killed Old Man Nabern? And what is up with the copycat appearing from the bathroom or the lavatory?
I think the tiefling is suspect, by the way.
Tune in next time on Pirate Adventures.